Hi everybody, my name is Keeley and welcome back to my reading nook. I am really excited today. I'm going to talk about my October TBR. I can't believe it's October already. That's really, really spooky. Or it's not October yet, but it will be very soon. And I can't believe how quickly that came around. But I am excited because the fall is like my favorite time to read. School started in September and it's been very busy, to say the absolute least. So I am trying to like have a realistic TBR, but I just don't know if I'll get to everything. I certainly didn't get to everything on my September TBR, but I think be ambitious and then just roll with the punches if I don't get to everything. So yeah. The first book is one that I have actually started at the end of September, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in my September wrap-up, but it's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This one was actually on my September TBR, but I have not finished it. As you can see, I'm barely into it at all. This is like a dark academia murder mystery told in reverse. So the story opens and you know that someone's been killed and you know who did it and you know who died. But then you go back in time and kind of watch these New England college students like devolve. There's also some Greek myth elements to it. It's really good. I just haven't gotten that far into it yet. It's a little bit dense and it's taking me a minute, but it is really, really good so far. But that's on my October TBR to hopefully finish up. Okay, the next book that I really want to read is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. This book, I really like the cover, first of all. And I've never read anything by Agatha Christie, but she's, the queen of mystery novels, and I feel like I have to read that in October. I picked this up over the summer specifically to read in October, so I really hope that I get to it, because I think it's going to be really good. Basically, And Then There Were None is a mystery about, 10 strangers who get lured to, an abandoned mansion, and they're all there, but I don't think they know each other. And then at dinner, every single night somebody is dying, so it's 10, 9, 8, 7, and it's counting down. And I've heard really good things about this one, even relative to all the other Agatha Christie novels. All of them sound great, but this one just called my name the most, because this one isn't a detective story. She's kind of known for her specific detective novels, but this one is kind of the strangers trying to figure it out amongst themselves, and that seemed really interesting. It's not terribly long, it's 250 pages, so I think I can do this. But again, I'm really trying to be conservative about it because it's just been crazy. My amount of time that I've had for reading has been little to none. So that's been kind of depressing. But we're doing what we can over here. I am just really excited to get into fall cozy books. As you can see, I'm wearing a fall sweater. This has been the first day that I could actually get away with that because it wasn't 85 degrees in Boston where I live. Yeah, so the next book on the list is King of Thrillers. So I'm going Queen of Mystery, King of Thrillers. This is Stephen King's Misery. I've never read anything by Stephen King except a few chapters of It in high school, but that was years ago and I never got that far into it because it is 1,000 pages and it just wasn't happening back then when I was in high school. But Misery seems like one that I could actually get behind, if that makes sense. I could actually see myself being really into this book. It reminds me of that iCarly episode where Carly and Sam get kidnapped by their biggest fan. Because the plot of Misery is that a best-selling novelist has just wrote the finale of his series, and some of the fans don't like it, and specifically one of the fans really doesn't like it, Annie Wilkes, and she basically kidnaps him and keeps him prisoner until he writes more of this story, which is in concept kind of hilarious, but I know that when I read it it's going to be really spooky. This book is pretty long. It's 400 pages, so that's definitely going to be a stretch for me this semester. Can you tell how much I literally can't stop thinking about school this year? But I think I can at least start it and get kind of far into it. And if I have to stretch a lot of these till November, I'll do that. I would love to finish all of these now, but there's a chance that I won't. So yeah, so far we have 2 big ones, The Secret History and Misery, and then 1 smaller one, and then there were none. I might end up like just starting with the shorter ones, just so that I can like make some progress. Yeah. And now the last book that I'm going to put on my TBR, this is such a short video, but I just wanted to make sure that I got my TBR up and like kept myself accountable on like posting once a week. But yeah, this one I think is the one that I'm the most excited for because I've loved the author in the past. And that's Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. This is another cover that I really like. So this one, I originally watched the Netflix series a couple years ago now, I think. But basically it's about an old house called Hill House that's super haunted. And 4 different people come together to kind of like investigate this house, and stuff goes down. But Shirley Jackson wrote We Have Always Lived in the Castle, which is one of my favorites. It's like really short, but super good. And she also wrote the short story The Lottery, which a lot of people might know about, which I also enjoyed. So I know that I like her writing style, and I feel like this is her most popular book, but I've never read it before. I've only read, I actually have this is The Haunting of Hill House. Yes, I have my copy right here of We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I love my copy so much. It's got like the beveled edges. It's super short. If anyone's looking for a good October read, this would definitely be it. It's like pretty spooky. It's about like 2 sisters living in a house, like they're very wealthy but like shut off from the rest of their town, and there's like a mystery about like what happened to the rest of their family, and it's really spooky. But anyways, my love for that book makes me think that I will really like The Haunting of Hill House, and that one is about, oh gee, it's like less than 200 pages, which is exciting because I really want to make sure I get to this one, and the short ones are gonna have the best chance of me actually checking them off. Yeah, I don't know. I also just wanted to mention like that my reading months have been getting more and more hectic, and I really want to like stay accountable with reading, and my goal has changed to like make sure that I read at least 2 books a month, as opposed to 4, which is what I was aiming for when I was back in the summer. Yeah, so that's just a little update on me and my reading journey. And you know, I think it's okay for things to change, you know, when you go through busier seasons in your life. And I'm sure there'll be seasons coming up where I'm able to read 4, maybe even 5, maybe even 6 a month. But as of now, my goal is 2. But I'm still putting 4 on my TBR just to give me some options. Like, I hate feeling constrained by my TBR, so I like to give myself some variety. But yeah, let's see. These are the 4 books on my October TBR. I'm telling you, I can't get my head around the fact that September is over. These are the 4 books on my October TBR. So stay tuned to see what I read out of these, and definitely stay tuned to see how my reading month in September went. I didn't read a lot of books, but I read a lot of great books, so I'm really excited to talk about those. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me in my reading nook. I hope you are having a great reading month and that you have a great reading month in October. Thanks so much for coming. Bye.